Yo, what is going on, guys? So I kind of wanted to make this video because I've been thinking about starting YouTube, and I think the first thought that comes into mind is the problem with habitually smoking. And obviously, like, everybody's story is going to be a little different, but I'll tell it from the perspective of my life with habitually smoking. So I'm in the sauna right now, right? Like, life is great, you know? Let's start off with that, right? Like, God is amazing and God is great, right? And Jesus Christ is my savior, and everybody's story is a little different. But in the end, I have to give all glory to God, right? Now, habitually smoking in my life brought out the worst in me. And that's not even to mention, like, the problems I was facing before that, right? Like, oh man, I used to be skinny, you know? I was a kid, I was skinny. I didn't always have, like, the mass I have now. I didn't have the confidence I have now. Sorry, the last thing I want is for someone to walk in on me making this, because I'm in a public gym, so I'm trying to keep my eye out. So please forgive me. But yeah, that's not even to mention the problems I was facing beforehand, right? So a little bit of backstory. I used to be like a skinny guy, right? Like, you could tell by my wrists, right? Skinny. They're very small, right? Super, super skinny. I almost was pushing like the malnourished area, right? Although, like, I went to the doctor and they said I was healthy, but the doctor said, oh, you could put on more weight, you know? Typical skinny kid stuff. You know, almost everybody and their mama has dealt with that or knows somebody who is dealing with that. And it's not a problem in of itself. It's a problem when you allow that to like shape your life, where like you are so stuck on this. But that's a whole other bag of worms. That's a whole other thing that I'm not gonna get into right now. What I came to talk about was smoking and why smoking nearly ruined my life before I got saved by Christ. So habitually smoking becomes a problem when it's all you do, right? Like, and for me, it was sort of like this. It was like, I always dealt with like confidence and self-esteem because I was skinny, and people would make fun of me for being skinny, right? Like, that's tough. Like, that's not an easy situation to be in, right? Or same for the other way around, right? Like, let's say like you're a little overweight. Let's say like people are making fun of you, right? Like, that's just not the situation you want to be in. Nobody enjoys being made fun of, period. People joke about it so that they feel better about themselves, but in the end, nobody likes to be treated like that. At the end, we're all human beings, right? So, case specific to me, I was very skinny, and, you know, I had already come from a place with confidence issues and low self-esteem and stuff, and I figured that, like, I have to make myself fit in to the crowd. Throw that in with switching schools right before middle school, switching to a whole different town, right? Like, I was in town A, moved to town B. I knew nobody where I was going, right? That's a whole another situation, like leaving the friends behind that you already had. So compare all these things: skinny guy with no confidence, no self-esteem, switching schools, and I think I probably had like anxiety, like undiagnosed or whatever. Like, I was a whole bag of worms, different person. And I was always the type of person where my mom raised me, where it's like, if they tell you to vape, you say no. They tell you to drink, they say no. And I love my mama to death for that. I really do. She's a wonderful woman. But at the end of the day, we're all kids, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, we're gonna make our own decisions because we think that we know better than our mom, which is just not always the case, right? Like, sometimes, like, yeah, they really don't know, you know? But, like, most of the times, they definitely know. Like, you gotta realize this person is way older than you, and they love you, and so it's always best to take advice, even if you don't agree with it. But anyway, I was always trying to find a way to fit in, right? And so freshman year comes. 8th grade was really a struggle for me because, like, that was my second full year being where I was. My first full year was awful. I was so lonely. My second year being there, 8th grade, I started hitting the gym. So my confidence is boosting, but people would still make fun of what I wore. People would still, whatever. Like, I was just trying to fit in, you know? I was really trying my best to fit in. And, you know, if I could tell myself advice back then, it would be don't smoke, don't drink, don't do what you don't want to do just to fit in. I didn't listen to my mom. So I hit my first vape, I gotta say, like freshman year. I was drinking beers, like 8th grade, drinking beers in the summer of 8th grade, going into freshman year. Smoking a vape, riding my bike around town. I was buzzed, you know, like the whole shebang. And then like my friend had a basement, and you know, we would drink down there too, right? Like whole shebang, whole thing, except weed, right? And the reason why habitually smoking is so bad, in my opinion, is okay, slight mishap. My phone may or may not have died in the process, or died, overheated in the process of being in the sauna and recording a long video. So that may or may not have happened. Can't confirm, can't deny. But it's all right, we bounced back. So the reason why I think habitually smoking is so bad is because when you combine it with said person, right? Like myself, perfect candidate for this to happen to. And everybody is case specific. But most of the time, in my scenario, I was dealing with these problems. And my solution was smoking. And a lot of the times, you aren't the person who starts smoking. You pick up habits from people. You pick up behaviors from things that you see around you that influence your decisions and shape the person you are. Which is why surrounding yourself with the right people or no people is always better than surrounding yourself with the wrong people just because you feel lonely. And again, side note, you're never alone because Jesus Christ is with you all the time and he loves you. But I think it's so important that you realize that when you have a problem, you cannot smoke as the solution. It's almost like drinking, right? Where in today's world, where if you drink every day, you have a problem. And that's almost like socially accepted in the United States. Like I would say most people would agree with that. And in other countries, weed is seen as like an abomination, you know, like devil's lettuce, but they truly stand by that. And in some aspects, they are right, but in some aspects, they're really off. So the problem with weed is that is when you treat it like an addiction, where you smoke every night after work because you're looking for this relief that you can find in other things besides smoking. You can find relief in self-improvement, in God. Those who are heavy-hearted, come to me. I don't know the verse, but those who are heavy-hearted or heavy-laden, come to me and you will find peace. Jesus said that. Seek me, right? So there's other ways to accomplish this peace that you're seeking without damaging the body that Jesus gave you, the temple that your body is a temple. So in the sense of where people are out here smoking and, you know, these people are smoking every day, you're hurting yourself. And case specific to me, I had so much confidence issues that I had almost smoked to fit in. And then I built my identity around smoking, where I was smoking every day. And then I was like, cool, like society thinks like it's okay to smoke. So that turned into, you know, like from every single day to multiple times a day to almost buying like 2 carts in a week to like the whole thing. And smoking once in a while is cool, like it's socially acceptable to smoke, especially if like you're celebrating, it's cool. But I think the problem is when you start smoking alone or you smoke every day with a group of people, it becomes habitual, almost to the point where like you just accept that smoking is a part of you and it becomes a part of your identity and you identify with smoking. And it's just super damaging because now you're not yourself. Now you are a pothead. Now you are a pothead. That's how you identify yourself, or you are like, you smoke. And it just leads to terrible habits. Like, for example, complacency. I'm gonna bring it back to myself now. So I would smoke every day and I was losing friends left and right, but I was also losing my real friends while I was making these temporary fake friends, right? I was becoming closer with people who identify with smoking, and I was no longer identifying and building those relationships with people who don't smoke because I valued smoking so much. I almost idolized it. Became friends with the wrong people and, just made terrible decisions. And that's what happens, is because you identify with smoking, right? And you almost like, in a sense, like just become friends with the wrong people. And in my case, I lost some good friends who I was friends with, and I became friends with the wrong people who are no longer in my life, just because like, you're just smoking buddies, and take it with the drinking buddy too. You have drinking buddy A, drinking buddy B, C, like you have a whole drinking group and all you do is drink. But then when the drinks aren't around, and this isn't every group, because some people have great relationships and they drink together, but in most cases, when the relationship is built on drinking and you take away the drinking, you really realize like, wow, like I don't even like these people. Like I don't even, not that you don't like them, because I think loving everybody's important, but I think it's more like, wow, like we really don't have much in common besides drinking, right? Like this is just my drinking buddy. And that same limiting, it's a limiter on a relationship, because how much can you bond without the gateway to your relationship, which is weed or drinking? Like it becomes a gateway where you almost have to smoke to be able to connect with this person. If you're not smoking or drinking, then you guys aren't really connecting. So it almost becomes like a limiting factor on a relationship that could be beautiful. And I think it's important that you build relationships in real life. But so you have that aspect, the limiting aspect. You also have complacency. Like you had a rough day at work, I had a rough day at work. What would I do? I would smoke all the time. And I wasn't trying to better my situation. I lost a lot of weight. I was pretty buff. I had some decent mass on my frame. I had been working out from, like I mentioned, from that 8th grade to freshman year era into sophomore, junior era, right? So I had been working out for almost like a year, 2 years, and I had put on some decent mass. And oh my gosh, apart from what it does to your lungs, what it does to your mass and your hunger, you can't eat unless you have the munchies anymore. You start to lose a lot of weight. You lose a lot of drive. You become complacent with where you are in life, because being high feels so good that what more could you want, right? Like that warm, fuzzy feeling, the endless giggles, the happiness, the calmness. Just talking about it, I can almost like feel what it feels like to be high, and that's the problem. It is such a nice feeling that you become complacent, and then you become okay with not eating as much. You become okay with being lazy, and like all of it leads to so much sin that will eventually ruin you if you don't take control of your life. And in my scenario, I had lost so much weight. I dropped it down to 140 pounds at my lowest, and right now I'm 170. I had lost so much weight that I couldn't even bench press 135 pounds. Not to brag, I bench pretty decent weight. On bench press, I'll do like 225 for 5 reps. But back then, I was doing like 135, maybe for 5 reps. The damage it does to your body is awful. Your hunger, your drive, your lungs. It's just awful. And then top that off with what it does to your brain, right? You become complacent. Yeah, so you become complacent, you become foggy and all these like other dissociation, all these other things, right? Like, and then you also develop anxiety without the weed, and you become like desensitized to a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of emotional things going on there, especially with weed too, and the psychology, not just like the physical, but also societal norms, right? It's become almost socially acceptable to be smoking all the time. And so society doesn't see it as an issue, but I promise you, if you stay sober, you will feel so much better without having to rely on like this weed to just make you feel good. Like, it's so funny because we used to live in a world where society looked at weed as it was like this awful drug, like Chinese factory. Oh gosh, don't even get me started with the carts and the terpenes and stuff. Oh my gosh, like awful. But people used to look at weed like it was like Molly. Like, people used to look at weed like you were doing like cocaine. But like, now it's become so socially accepted that almost people are okay with how like smelling weed in the air. People are like, ooh, let me get a hit, right? Like, we all know someone like that, or I've been that guy myself, right? Like, guilty, right? Like, it's so normalized in society that you can almost not, it's almost hard to escape it. And when you do escape it, like, it's just, you're constantly trying to escape it. So like, society has told you that these things are okay, right? Like lust and pornography, like it's okay, everybody does it, but really it's really not, right? Like, it's damaging your testosterone and your psyche. And then people tell you like, oh, drinking's okay. Like, it's not. And people tell you like, oh, weed is okay, it's socially acceptable, everyone's smoking, but it's really not. So we really need to be careful in making our own decisions and not letting others influence how we live our life. And that all ties back to, I was allowing people to dictate how I live just because I wanted to fit in. And as I near the video, I just want to sort of give you guys advice, right? So it takes a lot of willpower. I was smoking vapes all the time, and I was smoking weed multiple times a day. And it took a terrible situation in my life to put it down. And I just hope that it doesn't take what it took me to get you to quit if you were thinking about quitting smoking weed. Because nobody deserves to go through something like that. And nobody deserves to have such a hard time when it's in your hands, the power's in your hands. So if you're thinking about quitting porn or quitting weed or quitting drinking or quitting sinning, it's all possible, okay? Take it from the guy who used to smoke like 3 vapes in a week and like twice a day weed, right? The stuff that they put in them carts are not even real. Those carts are fake manufactured BS from China. Like, and even if you're buying it, right? If you're sitting here justifying, oh, well, I bought it from the dispensary. Like, listen to yourself. You're justifying a bad behavior. That's like saying like, oh, I don't make moonshine in my basement. I don't make my own beer. I buy beer at the store. Like, cool, but you're still drinking every day, and people care about you, and I care about you guys. That's why I'm making this video, and there's people out there who care for you very deeply. And just remember that that's why you're quitting smoking, is because you have so much more to accomplish in life without smoking holding you back. You have deeper relationships. You have so much more to live for. And I think it's important that we all realize and come to the realization that smoking every day habitually is just so dangerous, you know? You become so complacent. I keep on saying that, but it's really the truth. It really, really is. You have to sit and look at yourself and realize, like, wow, like, what am I doing? And only then will you be able to tell yourself that I've had enough. And you will fall into temptation, right? Jesus said the righteous fall 7 times, right? I have smoked a couple times here and there, but every time I smoke, I just get this feeling like, wow, like I shouldn't be doing this, right? Like I come so far, like let me not mess up. So, and as time goes on, as you stay sober, you won't even think about smoking anymore. You'll think about smoking and almost get anxious because like you just don't want to be like that again. So my final note to you guys is this, is quit it now before it gets worse. And if it's already bad, it'll continue to worsen, right? It's like a boulder. Just stop it now while you can. And if it takes, you stop smoking for 2 days and then you smoke again, and then you're good for 3 days and then you smoke, and then you're good for 5 days and then you smoke, and then you go like 2 weeks, really push yourself every single time to go longer and longer until it gets to the point where you won't even want to smoke anymore. And I promise you, not just the satisfaction, but the clarity and the energy, and you will feel like yourself, your true self, not the smoker identity that you have built for yourself. If you are passionate about things, you will be passionate about these things again. You will dream again. Life is so beautiful. You don't need to smoke, right? So I just hope that I could leave you guys off with some help, advice, right? Tell you guys how it changed my life. I stopped smoking and my life really did turn around for the better. And smoking nearly ruined my life. And I don't say that lightly at all. I'm still dealing with the repercussions. I lost a lot of people due to my smoking. I lost so much. It took away from my life so much, and I'm still dealing with the repercussions, and I hope you guys will never have to deal with that. So stop it now while it's not too late. Okay. I feel like I yapped enough. So for my first video, I hope you guys could pick up something, learn a thing or two. I'm not doing this for the fame. I'm doing it for the love of the game. Hey, I hope you guys have a blessed day. And may God be with you all on this journey. And, leave a comment if you guys need help. I promise you, I've been there. I've done that. I know I know my way around here. So let me know. God be with you guys. God bless you. You guys have a good day.